Another student of ours got their immigration dreams with our 15-hour course for CELPIP, helping in the journey. If you need the same help, the link is in the description. Now, in this video, we will talk about the 10 best phrases that you can use, an emphasis on phrases. It's not just words, it's complete phrases which are advanced, high quality, and you can actually use them. And I'll tell you with every phrase where and how you can use them. Plus, we'll develop our understanding on these phrases as to why they will give you more marks. So you don't just rely on these 10, but you use them as examples to use these kinds of qualities in every phrase every time you write and speak. This is for writing and speaking. Let's look at what we have on our screen as the first phrase. While I acknowledge your point, it is imperative to consider. Two things happening here. One is imperative is an advanced word, so you get more marks for this instead of saying important. Secondly, when you start a sentence with while, it becomes a complex sentence because it's broken into two parts. While I acknowledge your point, part one. It is imperative to consider. That's part two. And this is perfect when you are talking about your opinion in task 2 writing, or again, you're talking about your opinions in tasks 5 and 6 of speaking. Because in task 5, you are comparing, you're looking at multiple options. And in task 6, when you are explaining a difficult situation, you are picking one of the two options and saying why this option is better than the other. Whenever you're considering these multiple options or scenarios, you can always use this phrase. It's highly advanced and it will help you link multiple points together. Now, let's look at our next phrase. This says, should you require any further clarification, feel free to reach out. Where can you use this? Any guesses? It is task 1 writing. This is a very typical email finish, but the phrase itself is not typical. When we use the wordings usually are, please reach out to me at this number, or you can contact me at any time. But you're saying here, should you require any further clarification? Clause number 1, feel free to reach out. Clause number 2. This is also passive, which again gives you range. So not only is this complex, it's also passive. Instead of something which is a very typical active sentence, I am available 24/7, or I can call you at this time. Try to use a combination of passive and active voice to give yourself a range and the best marks. Now, let's look at our next phrase, and this is, from my perspective, this represents a step in the right direction. Where can you use this? This is perfect for opinion-based questions, which will come in task 2 writing, where you have to pick one of the two options and give an opinion, and task 7 speaking, which is again where you do the same thing. Give an opinion and tell us why. Now, when you start by saying, from my perspective, advanced word. And again, this is complex because it starts with from my perspective, this, and here you can put your opinion, represents a step in the right direction, or this policy, this measure, this new idea, whatever the opinion is, whatever the topic is, you place it here and it starts you off solid with a strong way to convey your opinion. The next phrase is, the image captures a harmonious interplay of light and shadow. Where do we see images? We see them in tasks 3 and 4 of your CELPIP speaking. So when you have two things or more happening within the same picture, you can easily use this phrase and it perfectly shows your ability to describe an overall scene, and then later you get into the detail. So this is really handy using it at the start, and it's always a harmonious interplay. It's always a good mix, so you can almost always use this word because a picture is usually a combination of 2 or more elements. Now, light and shadow is obviously what you have to replace if it's a picture of a classroom. So you can say the image captures a harmonious interplay of the student and teacher interaction, or the unruly students and the struggling teacher, in case you want to define them with adjectives. Okay, let's look at our next phrase, and this says, it's completely understandable to feel uncertain, but this is ideal for task 1 speaking. Task 1 speaking is where you give advice and suggestions. So you're telling someone that you gotta go outside and meet more people because you're an introvert. You can start by addressing that person, hey, how are you? Just do your greeting. Then your next sentence, it's completely understandable to feel, and in that case, I would say overwhelmed or socially anxious, depending on the situation. But I got a few suggestions for you. And then you start with your suggestions. And this is, again, a very strong start. It shows your emotional understanding. You relate to the person, and you also rephrase the topic from the question. It's completely understandable, or I get that, this is the condition, but, and then you start with your suggestions. And here you can say multiple things, but I have a few suggestions for you. But a few things can easily help you out. But these next 3 suggestions I'm going to give you will solve everything, depending on your topic, of course. Okay, let's look at our next one. Building on that, with that said, considering. Use many. You can use these in many cases. Now, these words that I've used here, there's a word here, and these 2 are phrases, and I want to give this to you. It's very important because you need to understand how to build a flow. The flow mark is frustrating in CELPIP writing and speaking for me as a teacher, because for you as a student, it's so easy to get this mark, but a lot of you just leave it. You don't want it for some reason. Flow is when you are in the middle of talking. You have multiple points, and now you're going from one point to another. You always want to connect those points. You cannot just start a random sentence with point number 2, 3, or 4. So use connectors like building on that, with that said, or considering. And here you would need to put the exact topic. So for example, let's say I'm talking about problems and then solutions. I would say, considering the problems that I mentioned, I do believe there are some reasonable steps we can take to mitigate the issue. So that's where I would use considering, and that would make it a complex sentence as well. Building on that, with that said, are good phrases to use. Considering is a good word to use. And I gave you 3 because you want to keep a good combination of single worded flows and phrases as flows. The more range you have, the better it is for your mark. Our next phrase is, please accept my sincere apologies for any inconvenience this may have caused. It is a very email kind of tone, and if you guess task 1 writing, you're right. Task 1 writing is where this would go, and also task 6 speaking, where you're usually apologizing for some mishap and you want the other person to understand, and you have this mark in task 6 for emotionally relating to the other person and showing that emotional intelligence. So whenever you're in those situations, it's very hard to find ways to say, I'm sorry, and then make that sentence advanced. I mean, I'm sorry, or my apologies, right? How do you make it advanced? It's very basic, but you still have to say it. Well, you can say, please accept my sincerest apologies. Sincerest is an adjective. You get your mark for that. It's more descriptive. And you're not just saying, I apologize or I'm sorry. You're saying, please accept my. And then you're also defining it for what? For any inconvenience this may have caused. And this may have caused is, again, one of those unique touches in the phrasing, instead of you just saying, my apologies for this. So you're saying this may have caused to put a nice phrasing at the end. And this sentence, you can memorize it. It fits really well, but make sure it fits in the relevant situation. And now, next one. In stark contrast to whatever your topic is, you mentioned that here, this approach offers a more scalable solution. So we're talking about a comparison here. And where do we compare? We compare stuff in task 2 writing, where you have 2 different options to pick from. Task 5 and 6 speaking as well. Task 5 is the comparison question, and task 6 is, again, when you're choosing between 2 options. So we had another example earlier, but this is right in the middle, when you're jumping from one point to another. So let's say you're going from the veggie option to the fast food option. In stark contrast to the healthy diet that we just discussed, the approach regarding the fast food diet offers a more delicious and scrumptious meal option. And again, adapted according to the question. All right, our final phrase here is, it wasn't just a, it was. And this is exactly how you want to use the hyphen in writing, if you're using it in writing. And it's going to be very handy, very advanced, and unique when you're using it for task 2 speaking and task 1 writing. So task 2 speaking is where you're describing a situation, an event, a future event, or task 1 writing where you're describing your family event. Let's say the email is talking about your family vacation or a past event or an experience in the restaurant. Very handy in those kinds of situations. When you're defining an overall situation, you want to use words like, it wasn't just a terrible experience, for example. It was an incredibly frustrating experience for my family as well. So it wasn't just terrible for me, but for my family too. Similarly, it could be positive. It wasn't just a dream that I had since childhood. It was something that brought relief to my family currently. Okay, I misspoke earlier. We actually have one final phrase right here. And this goes like this. Although the something is commendable, the something else. This application can be used in a variety of places, and this is your mark for using a complex sentence. Although something something, one clause, something something else, clause number 2. Complex sentence. Commendable is an adjective. It's also an advanced adjective, so you get your mark for that. And now I could use it, for example, in any place where I'm comparing things, although the place or the efforts made in my vacation by my family were commendable. The outcome was not, because I got sick on the vacation. That's it. So whenever you're describing two different things, like although this was good, but then this is the bad outcome, then you can use this phrase. And again, it gives you marks for complexity and using an advanced tone. Now, you want to practice all these phrases, write them, use them in speaking. And again, what's more important than just practicing these phrases is understanding how and why were they useful. In every phrase I pointed out, this gives you variety. This is an advanced thing. This is an adjective. So how can you now come up with these phrases in writing and speaking? Try to work on that. And please subscribe, like, and share for more lessons like these on CELPIP.